Of its kind project in Minnesota was unveiled this week at Virginia's landfill.
Isabel Zadra takes us to the range and shows us how they're using garbage to heat things up.
Everyone produces garbage, so why not put it to good use? After just a few months, Virginia's landfill has finished up on a first-of-its-kind project, implementing the state's first ever geothermal cell. This cell might look lackluster on top, but it's what's underneath that really matters. Below the sand is a labyrinth of pipes and layers of clay. Over time, garbage will be pushed on top, and as it starts to decompose, it produces heat. Dave Fink is the director of St. Louis County Environmental Services and says if there's a way to reduce the cost and use all resources, why shouldn't Virginia's landfill be the one to try it first? Those here say it's so simple.
So we're just capturing that heat. It seems like I said, it is a simple concept.
In addition to creating heat, the new cell will also capture leachate, the liquid that comes from our garbage. But once that wastewater is collected, it needs to be treated and pass certain inspections, and the cell will help that process as well. The landfill, in partnership with St. Louis County and other affiliates, is starting to plan the construction of a wastewater facility building on the premise, which will be heated by the energy coming from the geothermal cell.
How can we capture some of that free energy and utilize it on site to offset some of the costs of that facility?
County Commissioner Keith Nelson spoke at the cell's ribbon cutting on Tuesday and is excited for all the opportunities this new technology will bring.
And it's the future of waste to continue economic development, because without a place to manage waste, you do not have economic development.
Fink says they hope to have the wastewater facility building ready to go sometime in 2026.